Sunrise in Plateau State ushers in an atmosphere of hope, peace, and great expectations. It's a land where the rhythm of life flows seamlessly, culminating in evenings of serenity, tranquility, and camaraderie. Welcome to Plateau State, situated in north-central Nigeria, named after its unique topography, characterized by picturesque valleys, lush flora, and diverse fauna. Despite its location in the tropics, the state's capital, Jos, and its environs enjoy a temperate climate with temperatures ranging between 10 and 22 degrees Celsius, a feature that sets it apart. With about 54 indigenous ethnic groups, Plateau State is a vibrant microcosm of Nigeria's diversity, a true rainbow collision. Beneath its beautiful landscape lie abundant mineral resources, especially tin ore, which drew British colonial entrepreneurs and other Nigerians to its mines as far back as the early 1900s.
Arab in Plateau State, it's a very old settler in Plateau State because our great grandparents came even before the 1900s. We are one of the tribes that have lived peacefully with our neighbors.
In a world often divided by differences, Plateau State stands as a beacon of unity, a multicultural and multi-religious society thriving on shared values and rich traditions. Beneath the surface of daily life lies a story of transformation fueled by hope, faith, and education. Carved out of the then Benue Plateau State in 1976, Plateau's identity is deeply rooted in its heritage. Its history is intertwined with the arrival of Christian missionaries who brought not only faith but also education, laying the foundation for a generation of leaders shaped by knowledge, ethics, and morality.
This missionary holistic gospel have actually helped us as a country. And what this has done for us is that we produce quality workers. We produce quality people that have invested their lives in this country through the activities of the missionaries and the schools that we have.
Settling here and establish schools, it has been a blessing. So many leaders that are, around, almost around the north and even beyond the north, they have had to come over here, the missionary schools here on the plateau, and they have been blessed, and the Lord has been using them, in diverse ways. Besides the fact of, the education they had, there has always been that integrity, that Christian virtue, and a number of them, not just only leaders who had actually had the touch, of the mission schools established by the missionaries on the plateau, had been doing greatly. Even if they were to be Muslims, you remember.
In reality, missionaries started the schools and they were going together hand in hand with moral upbringing. And that is why you will see the crop of the early people that finish. Their commitment to work, their dedication to work, and they sacrifice themselves for the nation.
These missionaries envisioned a community empowered by education, fostering friendships that transcended ethnic and religious lines.
I went to Methodist primary school and it was Methodist, clearly, And then we had classmates that were from Benue, because then it was actually Benue Plateau, And then we had a lot of the Methodist influence with the Southwest background. So many children from Nasarawa, across the town coming to Kashim Ibrahim, that's where Methodist is. And so there was, we didn't know it, we used to recite the Lord's Prayer, on every assembly. We line up outside, recite it, and then we go to our class. In the evening, when we get back home, we now go to Madarasa, that is Amakaranta Allo, and so we had an understanding of the Christian knowledge, and then we also practice our religion as Muslims, and then with a better understanding.
You cannot differentiate the Muslims and the Christians because you are one big family. You see an elderly man being Muslim correcting children of Christians, vice versa. Then coming to tribal sentiments, there's nothing like that because you can't now say, but no, we don't know who is Igbo, we don't know who is Yoruba, talk less of Hausas or the indigenous, because bring ourselves together to one entity.
The seeds they planted continue to yield fruits as the state remains a hub of peace and tourism.
Plateau, beautiful Plateau, united, the new you is better than the past. Plateau, Plateau, wonderful Plateau, together, your future is better than the past.
Plateau State, fondly referred to as the home of peace and tourism, owes its moniker to its welcoming people, breathtaking landscape, and vibrant cultural heritage. Today, the impact of missionary education is evident across all sectors of Plateau's society, inspiring leaders to champion equity, justice, and mutual respect. The state takes pride in initiatives that celebrate its diversity, such as annual festivals showcasing its rich music, dance, and culinary traditions. A predominantly Christian state, Plateau is known for its harmonious celebrations of religious festivals. Governor Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, himself a product of missionary education, is bridging denominational divide through initiatives like the Plateau State Unity Christmas Carols and Praise Festival.
I have been a great observer, and I noticed that once December hits, is to your tents, O Israel. The invitations I get for Christmas Carol is not possible to attend all of them. And I said, why do we need to scatter ourselves? Can't we come together and do something together instead of everybody doing something for himself? And so I've been toying with this idea. Number one, we'll be able to monitor the spiritual content of what the carols are all about. Number two, is also going to afford us an opportunity for tourism, because once this gathers momentum, people are going to look forward to it. And so we need to take advantage of this. The whole thing about Mecca and Jerusalem is religious tourism. So let's maximize our own advantage here and see how we can create that atmosphere that would attract people into the city. And so I thought, let's bring out men and women together. Music is what everybody enjoys. I thought, therefore, we should be able to also tell the world about our unity. Let's have this as an opportunity to unite ourselves. It's not a competition, it's a collaboration.
It's going to be the first of its kind on the Plateau, because this is the Plateau Unity Carols Festival. So we've had so many disjointed events. We want to bring everything into one. This is owned by all of us on the Plateau. It's not owned by anybody. That's why it is the government that is spearheading it. But it is not strictly for just government. It's for everybody on the Plateau. And I believe that the public is being enlightened about the coming event, because advertorials have started going on radio and so on and so forth. And so people are already getting excited. You know, Christmas is a big thing on the Plateau.
The spiritual significance is not only for Plateau State. It is for the entire nation. People are being invited from all around the country, from big cities, Plateau is like it is the headquarters of Christianity in Nigeria, having been placed in the central north, that is mostly in the northern area of Islam. So, right from the time Plateau was a province in the northern Nigeria, most of the headquarters of the missionaries that came to establish churches in Nigeria established here in Jos, and Jos has continued to maintain that position.
This groundbreaking event, warmly embraced by the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and church leaders, is a testament to the governor's commitment to fostering unity through shared worship.
And in different churches, you have what is called Christmas Carol and the different invitation and the rest of them. And during that time, CAN itself, the Christian Association of Nigeria, the strategic branch, and so many other places, they have what is called unity service. And in this unity service, with different denominations, we have 5 blocks. They all come together, we have the unity service, and then we do some Christmas carol and to mark the end of the year. But by God's providence, we have a governor that he has a passion for his faith as a Christian. And not only a passion, he wants to get involved. And he saw that idea. He said, let us make it bigger in the sense that we bring all the sons and daughters, let us celebrate, we do the Christmas as a family.
When we first heard of His Excellency, Pastor Mutfwang's desire and initiative to bring all the Christian denominations, all the Christians of the Plateau together in one big event that will celebrate, of course, the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. We found this very heartwarming. We've always been desirous for Christian unity, and the fact that God put in His heart to do that, to gather us, was something that was very, very welcoming, and something that we received with great joy. I stand to say the majority of Plateau is Christian. Something happens when we come together, and we leave our denomination of probably even theological background, and just come together as Christians, as believers, around the centrality of the person of Jesus Christ and our faith in the fact that He was born, and He was born as the Savior of the world. I believe that the galvanizing of our hearts together will be able to foster us to be able to work together better, not only as believers, but I believe to have a ripple effect over the states. Because when you come together in fellowship and worship and see, this is my brother, in spite of denominational background, I think that when you go out and you meet in the workplace, it will be a greater unity and a better understanding that will help you eventually work together in the field of life. And I think it will eventually be a blessing to the entire state.
In OIC, we had 2 meetings because of this program. ESCO of OIC has had this meeting because of this program, so that we planned strategically how to make sure that every member of OIC will come to the program. The program is taking place at the 10 Commandments. It is important because it is going to be the first time the Christians of Plateau State will come with a choir. We use the program to organize the community choir involving all the blocks. Involving all the blocks. The plan is to make sure that the Christians on the Plateau see themselves as one body. The pastors, for the first time, from all the blocks, will be seeing each other. What I'm telling you, that OIC will be coming with about 70 pastors, strategic church leaders, and that's something that they will come with their members.
The festival will feature a blend of traditional and contemporary praise songs, including performances in indigenous Plateau languages, creating a spiritual renaissance that resonates deeply with the people.
My reaction to this plan is fantastic. It is timely. And there is nothing that you can compare our unity with. For Christians to come together in one place with one accord to thank God and to praise His name, that is wonderful.
Generally, Christmas season is a moment of joy, happiness. And it's based on this that we are happy that the governor, who is also a Christian, as well as the camp, are joining together to make sure they see that the Christmas celebration is really celebrated. Carol go with 9 lessons, which teaches us on the value of what the birth of Jesus is bringing into the world. More importantly, I think, as Angel will describe him, Prince of Peace. If ever we want anything, even as a human being, I think all of us will need peace. Where there are no peace, you cannot coordinate and to do things as it should be done. It is on this basis that I think bringing us together, and as you know already, for the last, we will say, over 20 years, 2 decades, Plateau State really have been under tension. And with the coming of the present government, he has put in a lot to also demonstrate that peace is returning. And I think this is part of the thing that we are celebrating. And if we celebrate it together and bringing all churches together, we profess one faith, one baptism, and heaven is one.
It's going to be like a prophetic, pronouncement upon the planet, that we are not going to experience a repeat of that evil, and that Jesus came that we may have joy, and He represents joy, He represents unity, He represents peace, and the devil just came, to give a counter, interpretation of what this season is all about. But we know that that was just an attempt by the enemy, and the Bible says that upon this rock I build my church, and the gates of hell cannot prevail against it. And I think that's the statement that this Christmas, joint Christmas carol and songs festival is going to project. And so we're going to come together, celebrate God, and it's so thrilling for me when I remember that we have to gather like.
Beyond the festival, Governor Mutfwang's administration is charting a new course for Plateau as inclusiveness, including appointments reflecting the state's ethnic and religious diversity.
We've seen a departure from the past. We've seen a deliberate effort by the governor and government of Plateau State to be more inclusive in their day-to-day activity. And clearly, we've seen there's a quality representation of women in this government. That we must acknowledge. We've seen a good representation of young persons in the government. We've seen persons with special needs. And so for us, as CSO, that's a strong representation, because over the years in Plateau State, from the era of Governor Jan down to Lalon and this government, we've advocated strongly for the gender and equal opportunity laws, which Governor Jan graciously signed during at the tail end of his administration. When Lalon came, we had engagement with him under the OGP for the Gender Commission. The process started, and I'm happy that Governor Mutfwang made it a reality.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor, has a unique style of governing the states, and there's impact positively, which we've seen. Also, we attest to it. When he come on board, he touches everywhere. not regarding differences of our culture or tribes and whatsoever. And as you can see, when you came into this mosque, it's one of the befitting mosques in northern Nigeria. He took it upon himself to renovate this mosque. He renovated it and he's still ongoing with some projects. And on the humanitarian aspects, the palliatives, and even before the palliatives, we have the fertilizers, which was shared to the farmers. And also, people are happy for the start of his leadership and how he tried to alleviate the sufferings.
You need to give him more time. You see, he has his checks and balance. He controls. Initially, I was asking myself, is he the one in control of the government? I discovered that he is really in control of the government. This is what he has. And if you stand firm on something, you stand firm.
The time is now administration was ushered in amidst rapturous jubilation, and Governor Caleb Mutfwang remains focused on the task ahead.
Citizens, we have the resolve and we are resolute in our desire for a new Plateau. Let me reaffirm that we will summon the political will every step of the way to initiate policies and programs that will engender peace, progress and prosperity in our land. This is a solemn commitment. You can hold me to my word.
With a defined template for the social and economic re-engineering of all sectors of the state, it is work in progress, even as emerging outcomes hold great promise for a better and brighter future.
The openness of the governor, the sincerity of my purpose. Mr. Caleb Mutfwang is a God-fearing person. He is very open and transparent in his transactions. And as far as I'm concerned, we have a governor that we are yet to see the best of him.
Women and youth are also key beneficiaries of this inclusive approach, with many given leadership roles to ensure representation and mentorship for future governance.
I assessed Governor Mutfwang as being very fair. In fact, he has demonstrated affirmative action and commitment when he saw in 4 female commissioners in his cabinet. In addition, Governor Mutfwang did several numbers of female heads of agencies. I would rate him above average in performance with respect to gender equity, making women to be visible as well. I would say he's on track. In the educational sector, there's a lot going on. The Plateau State University in Bokos is growing, has increased numbers of faculties. That tells you that resources are being channeled into appropriate places.
We have nothing to say much but to appreciate our gender governor, because he is a governor that takes all the women along in his ministerial appointment. He has made so many appointments for women, most especially in strategic places.
Under Governor Mutfwang's leadership, the welfare of workers, pensioners, and retirees has taken center stage. Constructive engagement with labor unions has restored hope and stability to Plateau's civil service.
For the civil service is to have a civil service that is effective and efficient, comparable to any in the world. And his aim for the service is to transform the service into a cornerstone of good governance and a model of excellence. Since he's coming into office, Governor Caleb Mutfwang has shown steadfast support for the civil service. This is evident in what he has done.
But I'm telling you, this government has been very sincere in terms of negotiation or in terms of coming out to tell Labour that, look, these are the state of things. And it's not something that is even hidden. These are physical things that we also are seeing. And we really appreciate and applaud the government for their sincerity and for their purpose towards organized labor and towards workers on the plateau.
And they were able to resolve virtually all the issues that were on ground. The ones they inherited were some of the areas that were owing promotions, lack of promotions, limitation of promotions for workers. But I think up to 2024, there's no MD that is still having such complaints. And then they were battling with increase of minimum wage for increase for the pensioners. Some were receiving as low as almost 3,000 to 5,000. And he increased it from this January 2024. They were receiving 20,000 and above, depending on the grade level. Nobody earns less than 20 a year. We're having the heaviest, one of the most grievous edict we're having was lack of payment of gratuities, pensions and death benefits that has accrued for almost how many years. But when he came on board, he took that. And that's one of the most challenging positions that we have. And that's one of the most happiest positions for we as Labour. For me as a person is, he started paying the outstanding arrears of the death benefits, gratuities, and then the outstanding pensions from 1986 to 2010. Having paid that, he started paying from 2010 as a switching was ongoing. And they intend to go to 2019. Then he is equally paying all those that have retired from 30th of May 2029. He was sworn in on the 29th of May 2023. He started paying anybody that retires after that day. That's 30th of May 2023. He doesn't want to have any accumulation of any outstanding within that period.
The administration's peace architecture is mitigating conflicts and rebuilding displaced communities, laying the groundwork for long-term stability.
There's no leadership without good followers. And I think that as an individual, we own ourselves a duty that whoever is a governor or in government or in position of authority to criticize, to advise, and to support.
As Plateau State continues its journey of transformation, the partnership between its government and people remains the cornerstone of its progress. Together, they are building a future defined by hope, unity, and shared prosperity.
As we pause to reflect on the journey thus far, let us remain united in our resolve to build a better and more prosperous Plateau. Together we'll restore our state to its rightful place of prominence and ensure a future filled with opportunities for all. I extend my deepest gratitude to you, the people of Plateau State, for your unwavering support and trust in our vision.
My eyes have seen, my ears have heard, my mouth will talk about.
This is Plateau State, a sanctuary of peace and tourism and a testament to the enduring power of unity.